I've had women say, and I read it online most of the time, that, oh my God, men can embarrass you. Oh, men can embarrass you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness me. They say men can embarrass you. Have you ever been embarrassed by your significant other? Like embarrassment, you're just like, God. Have they ever embarrassed you? I met new friends today. I was hanging out with my friend and we had some sort of a baraza at his compound, and I got to meet new people. I was very excited, and we were there for a while, maybe 4 hours. We just, exchanging ideas and looking at the last quarter and what it entails, conversation around our futures and things like that. These two ladies in unison were agreeing after we were done with the business of the day and we were talking about, social issues. They were agreeing that their biggest fear was to be embarrassed by their husbands or boyfriends. So they're saying, oh my goodness, just don't embarrass me. Like, we have an agreement. Don't bring your nonsense in my house. I don't want to go to the marketplace and people are laughing at me. And it made for a fantastic conversation. Loved it. And today I'm going to talk from my heart. Yeah. Has somebody ever embarrassed you? Ever? Somebody you're dating or somebody is currently embarrassing you? So this one time, oh, by the way, if you're new here, this is Eric Stories and my name is Eric. Feel most welcome. Share your mind with me on the comment section and even on the DM. And while at it, please subscribe on the channel on YouTube. The link is in my bio. This one time, if you are a native in this city, Nairobi, you're probably conversant with New York. There used to be a club called New York, but it shut down long ago. That tells my age, right? Is my age showing? And New York was really like, there used to be Florida and then New York, and then there was Polo down the road on Moy Avenue. And then there was another one called Spiders. If you know, you know, right? So New York was the club. So there was a woman, this is in my mid-20s. No, maybe slightly earlier, just before my mid-20s. So there was a woman we were not dating, we were in a situationship. A young woman, a young foolish guy, Eric. And we had a thing for maybe on and off for 3 months. And so we broke it, but we didn't break it officially because it was not an exclusive relationship. Things just fizzled out and we didn't see each other for maybe 2 months. And I'd moved on with my life, or so I thought, because I was not in any relationship, right? So I'd taken my new squeeze to the club. Me and my new squeeze. See, me, I've forgotten those wahala things I was doing 2 months ago with a woman X. So I'm sitting down and, what did I used to do? I used to do voiceover work, and then I used to help my friend run his stall. Oh my goodness. So I'd made some money. Like on the side, I'd do that. So I'd be called, oh, Eric, come for this voiceover work. And I'd dash. There's a place in Lavington called Level 1. And my agent would call me and say, hurry. So I did some work and they paid me, I think, 30,000 bob. And that was a lot of money, right? So I was like, hey, it's still a lot of money. So I said, I'm going to really kick it with my girlfriend today, my new girlfriend. Or rather, a woman I was trying to make my girlfriend, right? So we get to the club and, she's dressed nicely and her hair is done. And me, I'm there with my t-shirt and I'm just chilling, chilling like, baby, unakunywa nini? Wallet nimebeba. My goodness. So we are easy and we are, I would get up and, show us a couple of moves. Those days, Mr. Nice was very popular. So, Takeo. And she's like, oh my God, girl, you can dance. Wow. So, I'm in the zen, right? I'm kicking it. And now I sat down after all these dance moves, and I think at some point we gyrated a bit. So I sat down and I'm having my drink. I used to drink then. So I'm having my drink and she's drinking and we're giggling, those, and she's chuckling. So I'm like, Nina's call. So something in my mental Rolodex said, just look across from you. Because I was seeing, the way you feel, you're feeling. So I'm feeling like, there's someone looking at me. And I'm just like, So I wasn't bothering. And something was like, why don't you just take a glance? Look. So I looked and our eyes met. Guess who? The 2 months ago lady. And so I'm like, oh, shoot. The 2 months ago lady. And so I saw her at a distance, maybe 200 meters. She was away at the counter. We were seated on the couch. And then our eyes locked. And then I looked away real quick because I'm like, I hope nothing crazy happens because truly Malizana, we were done, right? Oh my God. And now woman I'm trying to woo notices that I'm a bit uncomfortable. And she's like, well, what's up? Your demeanor's changed. I was like, no, I'm easy. So this woman edges closer. The woman was at the counter maybe 200 meters away, comes closer and closer and closer. So she comes, pauses, and I think she's steaming the closer she gets. So she comes really, really close and stands right in front of us. So this is my table. I'd gotten a nice table for us. I think we were just 2 people in that corner. 2, and I had a waiter on standby, sort of like exclusive service. I'm making an impression here. She comes and stands right in front. And then this woman nudges me like, hey, so she seems to want to have a word. I know now she has like a glass full of beer. And she's like, Eric. So I look up. I'm like, yeah, of course, obviously. She's announcing that she knows me, right? So then she calls me, I look at her. Then she starts sort of insulting this woman. So she's like, he's going to leave you, man ho. He's going to leave you. Such a mano atakuacha venye aliniwacha. Oh, you are here pretending you don't know. Woo! Shame on you. You can't just mess with people's hearts. Like, Jesus. So before I could put my thoughts together and decide on what to do, she takes this beer, which was full in a glass, and pours it on me. She's like, wow. So I'm drenched. And I'm just like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? I don't know this woman well enough yet. We've been talking kidogo. And now this is our first proper date. And here we are. My t-shirt is drenched. And I'm just like, hey, stop it. I can't remember what she's called now. And I'm just like, hey, you're being dramatic. Stop it. Then she goes back over the counter, pours another fill, comes right back and is like, you cannot mess with people and just go away. Let me tell you, dear lady, he's going to hurt you. He's a hurter. And she pours the second glass on my t-shirt. And now I'm getting really, really upset and there's a lot of commotion. And so I tell the woman, please, let's just go. So I pay the bill. And then she follows me while hurling insults as we are going down the stairs. And of course, this woman is so uncomfortable. It's just like, who is that? What is the drama about? I'm like, I'm so sorry. And so off we go. I get her into a cab and we drive off. And I think even as I was walking away, she was pushing me. That was the first most embarrassing thing. A second most embarrassing thing, I don't know if the time will afford us. This is maybe 10 years ago. So I was called 10 years ago. So I was called by a media personality. I was doing rounds on television and making feature appearances on radio. I wasn't working for the media properly yet, but I was doing appearances. So Citizen TV, if you're in Kenya, of course you know Citizen TV. I was called by a lady working there. A friend of mine said, Eric, I need your mind about a topic. And it was a male panel conversation. So I went. And before that, because I was really hustling and trying to make ends meet, I called a friend of mine who used to formerly work with here as a company. And I offered a training. I trained his staff on how to sell and close. They had a challenge in closing business. And because I was consulting, we spoke and he said, I'll talk to the treasurer who happened to be his wife to give you something. And so after the training was done, this woman, I think I did the training for maybe 2 weeks. It was a long, strenuous training. After the training was done, I went to the woman's office and we were trying to have a conversation about money. And then she said, oh, me, I've not been told anything. She was being a bit rude. And then over that time that I was going, I think they paid my cab 4 times, which came to 4,000 bob. And I took from the petty cash. The first time I appeared on this show, I was still mid-training because the guy said, it's really working. I need you to do it for another week. This woman, because we had an altercation earlier that day. I said, I would prefer that you pay me before I continue. And this woman took a picture of her television with me on talking. And then she posted on Facebook and said, she said something along the lines of, pay me back my money. You know, this friend's wife said, pay me back, after your interview, come and pay me back my money. Ndio niongeleshe venye unataka, before you talk to me the way you want. And so here I am, I'm done with the interview. And somebody screenshots and sends me. And then I sent it to my sister and I was just like, oh my goodness, but you wouldn't believe what this guy's wife has done. You can imagine, I was so embarrassed. So the way she posted it, you would think, I swear to God, that I took 4 million bob from her. She wanted me to pay them 4,000 bob, which they had paid for my transport, before we can discuss money, which was really demented. They never paid me eventually. But those were the 2 most embarrassing things I could think of on top of my head. Why am I telling you this? I got to meet these women later, including the one at the club who was pushing my back and almost slamming my back. But I didn't chokehold them. I didn't choke them. I didn't bite their arms. Not because I'm a nice person, but because we all have self-control. And I was saying all of this to say that rejection is part and parcel of life. Someone will reject you. Sometimes reject your advances. All right? And no is a complete sentence. And it's equally an acceptable and permissible thing to say. If somebody asks you, will you do this? You have all the rights to say yes or no. Men have that right. Women have that right. When you ask a woman for a number and she says no, or you ask her to a party and she says no, respectfully, just walk away. Walk away. Don't beat them up. Don't push them. Don't cause a scene. They have a right to say no. They don't have a right to embarrass you. But think about it. If somebody came and poured drinks on you and you're given to rage, I would not be doing Eric stories. I'd be somewhere after slapping somebody's daughter who may have happened to be a prominent lawyer's niece. And then I'd be in prison, at Kodiaga maximum prison, being sodomized because of giving myself to rage and stupidity. So then this is just to urge you, rejection is part and parcel of life, be you man or woman, but especially to a man. If she says no, just let it go. Let it go. Let it go. We don't own people. We are just supposed to experience them. If they choose another route, respectfully bid them farewell, kiss them bye-bye, don't chokehold them. Good evening.